So very good morning, welcome along out with RB and Eclipse motorcycles, and we're test riding this, the first one of the Euro 5 Echos to come into stock for a customer. And this is the grey and the blue version, 50cc, exactly the same except that these are now Euro 5 spec. And just a quick look around the bike. 50cc, ideal if you are 16 and looking to commute to college, work. Absolutely beautiful little bike. And just a quick look around, obviously those nice high mirrors in this. Now this one has the 12-inch wheels on it, so ideal little bike, these ones. We're going to get out, we're going to test ride this and just show you what these are like. Now these are exactly the same as the Euro 4s as well, so the Echos are still going. And I absolutely love these little scoots just for popping around town and doing all your bits and pieces. So what we're going to do, we're going to start this ride test with the Urban. Then a little bit of dual carriageway mileage, so we're going to flip the ride test around today, because normally you see me riding up and down the dual carriageway. What is this going to be like around town? 30-mile-an-hour bike, ideal if you are just commuting. Oh, you're going backwards and forwards to college. Now these do 100 plus to the gallon, absolutely perfect. And with these, the fuel tank is right at the back of the bike, locking fuel cap on it, and these never ever give us a problem. So ideal little scoot for just running around town. Now when you first get these, obviously the motors on these are very tight, so it takes you a while, but as you run them in, service them, they do get faster. Now some people have reported they have had about 36, 37 out of their Echos. Brilliant news, absolutely brilliant. Now the roads in Milton Keynes at the moment, and you can probably see from all the lumps and bumps, they have decided to resurface the roundabouts. Hooray! It's only taken them about 6 months to get round to actually sorting out all the potholes there. So we're going to change the route up slightly because they are due to shut that road in about 10-15 minutes time. I got out really early this morning. So we're going to have a little bit of a run around town. And these sit around about 25-30 when you first get them. Obviously maximum, they do say, is around about 30 mile an hour. The controls on this very simplistic. On the left hand controls you've got the horn at the bottom, indicators, high and low beam, and on the right hand side all you've got is a start button. That is it. The left brake does the rear and the right brake does your front. But absolutely ideal if you are popping around town. Now the bikes have all started to come out now. All the Euro 5 bikes are finally getting out to the dealers. We have been struggling to get bikes. We've taken so far about 179 inquiries for bikes, but we're starting to get bikes in, and literally as soon as they come in the door they are going straight out again. We are selling them from the crate straight back out to customers. So obviously we have a lot of PDIs, preps and ride tests booked in over the next couple of weeks. So I should be out on numerous bikes on numerous days. We have 6 booked for today. So I have a full day of bike riding to do. Not only the new ones, but we've also got our used bikes as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to flip it around. We're going to do a little bit of town mileage, just show you what it's like on the back roads. And obviously what it's like around town if you happen to be doing urban route all the time. And a lot of people have been asking what is happening to the geared 50cc bikes. There are none coming out. I will break the bad news. There are going to be no Hunters. There are going to be no Aspires. The only ones that are motorcycle based at the moment is the Cypher, and we have a lot of those going out. I'm doing a Cypher ride later on this week, so we are selling Cyphers by the shed loads, because obviously the Cypher, electric bike, 40-mile range, and it's probably one of the best electrics that I have ridden in absolutely ages. That thing gets up to 30 mile an hour really quick compared to this. This one, we did time it a week ago on one of the last rides, and it takes you around about 14 seconds to get to about 30 mile an hour by pegging that throttle. But the Cypher can do it in probably about 6. So the Cypher gets there really quick. If you want to spend a little bit more money, Now obviously on the 50cc petrols you are going to get a year's warranty. With the Cypher you're going to get a 2-year warranty, and you're going to get 3 years on those batteries on the electrics. And I absolutely love the Cypher, but I do like these little Echoes as well, and it's ideal just for nipping around town, doing your daily shop, doing your daily commute, or backwards and forwards if you happen to be going to school or college or work. Does what it says on the tin every time. Now the mirrors on this, nice and wide, and I've got literally about an 1/8 of my shoulder in those mirrors, so I've got a perfect view of the road behind. Very, very comfortable to ride, and obviously I'm 5'10", 32 leg. I've got loads and loads of leg room on this, and people have said obviously if I'm 6 foot and I just want it for pottering around, is it going to be good? Yes, you're still going to have loads and loads of leg room. It's going to be a small bike for you, being a 50, but you're not going to have a problem getting on this, because what you can do, if you do want a little bit of leg room, now I'm sat right on the front of the seat, I'm just going to shift myself back and show you, and now I'm sat on the pillion seat, so I've still got loads of leg room and it is still comfortable for me to ride. So you can stretch yourself out on this bike. Seat is very, very comfortable. It's not a hard cushion, it's not a soft cushion, it's, I'd say, a medium, but I've got loads and loads of sponginess, and the suspension on this is lovely. Now obviously a lot of bikes are coming out, and people are saying what is coming out at the moment, what is due to come out. Now at the moment LXRs and LXSs have been released. The Michigan is out on a Euro 5. Now with the Euro 5 bikes, obviously tighter emissions on those, and they've also got catalytic converters in them, hence why the price has gone up a little bit. And if you do know about catalytic converters, they do have precious metals in them, so hence why the price of bikes has gone up just a little bit, but they are still worth every penny, and they're still half the price of what you'd pay for a main dealer bike. Now with the Echoes we never have any problems on this, and we sell a hell of a lot of Echoes every year. But obviously now the electrics are coming out, you've got the option of the Elex, you've got the added G5, you've got the Impulse, and you've got all the other bikes as well, like the Cypher coming out. As for ISCAs, Assaults, Tempests, we are still awaiting stock updates on those, but we have been told that there are a lot of bikes coming out, Euro 5, but as of yet, no updates. So we're just asking people to give us a ring on a weekly basis and find out what is coming out from Lexmoto. We've currently got 61 bikes on order, as I've said in previous videos. I'm just hoping they don't all land at our place at exactly the same time, as we are going to be stuffed. And a lot of dealers are ordering big batches of bikes, due to the simple fact is people are demanding them. Now obviously second-hand bike sales, because you can't get hold of the Euro 5s at the moment, second-hand bike sales are going absolutely nuts. And there are a lot of second-hand bikes changing hands at very, very stupid prices. I had a guy message me from the Lexmoto owners page, and he said to me, he said, I've got a ZSX-F looking to upgrade, and I actually said to him, stick with your ZSX-F. That bike has been discontinued now. The ZSX-F and ZSX-R have been discontinued at the current time, and those ZSX-Fs and ZSX-Rs, I absolutely love them. They're absolutely perfect bike. I think they're absolutely superb, and I can't fault them. But I always said to him, I said, keep hold of the bike, and he went, oh right, he said, because I paid just sort of 1,800 quid for it, and I went, yeah, keep hold of it. He said, well, my friends offered me 1,400 and it's only a year old, should I keep it? And I said to him, actually keep it. You know, if it's not broken down or it's in good condition, keep hold of the damn thing, because you've got probably one of the best bikes out. He said, oh well, I was looking to get myself an LXR. Yes, LXRs are nice, LXSs are nice, but for comfort and for getting backwards and forwards, and obviously with those bikes you can put a top box on them, and it is the perfect spot on commuting bike. So So if you are thinking of changing your bike, obviously look at what's in the market. But I think they're an absolutely spot-on perfect bike. And these little Echos are exactly the same thing. They do a perfect job every time. Can't fault them. And I'm just so glad that they've still got the Echo out as a Euro 5, because I think it's probably one of the best 50s twist and go that are out, apart from the electrics. Now, if you are thinking of electric, and a lot of people ask, well, you know, I don't like it, it's a quiet bike, it's, you know, can't hear it. I think the electrics are going to be the thing of the future, and I keep banging on about electrics. I have ridden a lot of electric bikes. And obviously we've ridden the whole Lexmoto range, and that is the Impulse, the G5, the Elex and the Cypher. And hopefully Lexmoto will get around to actually putting out a 125 electric, or a 125 equivalent of electric. Now obviously you've got your things like your Super Soccos, you've got your Zeros. If you start going up into the big money, then you start looking at the ones like the Energy Corrigos. And obviously the big Zeros are a lot of money. And then obviously the ultimate one, and I am still in talks with a Canadian firm at the moment called Damon Hypersport. Now I was led on to that by one of my bike bloggers, Diesel's Hogs Vlog, and he obviously told me about this Damon Hypersport, and it's 200 mile an hour, 200 brake horsepower, 200 mile range, but you're looking base price around about 32,000, and that is dollars. And obviously they only release them out in Canada and America at the moment, but I have been chatting with them on the email, and they said as soon as we get a UK distributor, we will let you know. I am itching to get a ride on one of those electrics. Now, Zero is probably the best electric brand out at the moment, because that is a big equivalent. And we've got a train coming, so I can sit and have a chat with you for a minute. We've got another biker over at the other side of the lights. So the Zero is one of the big 125 equivalents, and it's a very, very good bike. But obviously the Lexmotos are very, very cheap for what they do. And the Lexmoto electric, especially the Impulse and the Cypher, I absolutely love those. Now those both can be unrestricted, and a lot of people have said, oh, you know, we've searched YouTube, how the hell do you unrestrict those bikes? And it is a very, very simple thing to do. All you need to do is hold the front brake, twist the throttle with the ignition off, hold them, and then all you need to do is turn the ignition on, wait 5 seconds, bike is unrestricted on that one. And then the same to just restrict it, same thing, turn your ignition off, hold your front brake, twist your throttle full open, turn the ignition on, 5 seconds, that will unrestrict or restrict the bike, so you can put it both ways. And I have done a video on that, so scroll back and it will show you how to unrestrict it. And we did manage to get 45 out of the Cypher and the Impulse as well. So both really, really good bikes, but obviously if you are unrestricting an electric, you are going to be depleting the battery a little bit more. Now obviously with some of those, they do come with a single battery. A couple of the bikes do come with 2 batteries, so you can change your batteries out and then obviously move on, have a battery at home on charge, get home, swap your batteries out, put the fresh battery in, and you're good to go for the next day while you've got a battery charging. And they take about 8 hours to charge up on one of those, so they're pretty quick on the charging, and then you're going to get your 40 miles range out of it. But I always say, electric is going to be the future, and if you haven't heard the news about, obviously, E10 fuel is going to be coming out later this year in September. Now, all E10 is, it is ethanol based. And I have spoken to Lexmoto, and E10 fuel is good for all the Lexmoto bikes. It is not going to cause any issues with the E10s. In any 10 fuel in any of the bikes, so happy days on that. But obviously ethanol based fuels, if you happen to have a really, really early bike, and you happen to have one of like the Ducatis or the really early 90s bikes, yes, ethanol will affect your bike. It will rot your seals, it will rip your tank apart inside. E10 is very, very corrosive on its own, and it doesn't like rubber. So if you happen to have an early 90s bike, you may have issues. But obviously on the new Euro 5 bikes, E10 fuel is okay to use. Now obviously I run E10, well, my own equivalent of E10 in my Kawasaki, and I tend to pre-mix my own. So what I tend to do, 5-gallon drum filled with my Shell V-Power, and I've got a separate barrel of ethanol at home that I managed to buy, and I add 2 litres of ethanol to every 5 gallons. Reason being, better burn, and it doesn't affect any of my seals, it doesn't affect my carbs, and I get a better burn off it. Now obviously my Quacker is slightly modified. We've got the big jets in it, we've got debaffled can, and that engine is severely modified. But don't go putting it into a standard road bike expecting to get more power, because you're going to be melting things, you're going to be rotting things and melting things. E10 or the ethanol base fuel will burn a lot hotter, and you do need to obviously check that out before you go slamming E10 or anything into your bike. Check that your bike is okay for E10. But obviously check out the spec. There's hundreds and hundreds of posts on E10 fuel. I spent about an hour last night reading up on E10 and what it's going to do. But as for the Chinese bikes and all other bikes, Euro 5, not an issue. And then obviously the other thing is, what is Euro 5? Euro 5 just means tighter emissions controls. A lot of the bikes now have catalytic converters. That is all it is. Typical Brussels bureaucracy. We're meant to be out of this common market thing now, and we're still being regulated by the European government as to what we can and can't do. And then just another quick thing before we head back to the garage, and we did the Super Sausage ride on Sunday, and it happened to be the bit where I'd not got my camera on. We went out for a quick blast, and obviously we had to turn the cameras off to have a quick blast before we rode home with the pack from Super Sausage. And we found one of these new speed cameras, and it's a nasty little thing. It looks like E.T.'s head. 2 cameras on it in a van. But that camera, if you actually go past on your bike and you are going for it, coming head on towards the camera, and obviously no front number plate on a motorcycle, that camera can flip round in about half a second. It's really, really fast, and catch you from behind. So do watch out for these new speed vans now, because that camera can flip round, and a lot of people are getting caught out by it. And the easiest way to spot it, it comes out the roof of the van and it looks like E.T.'s head. So that's just a little bit of a heads up for the new camera vans that are coming out. They're getting a little bit hotter on the speeding. As I always say, save your speed for a track day, unless you have to have absolutely nothing behind you and nothing in front. So this is ride test number 1 over. Back to the garage for that obligatory cup of coffee and a cigarette, get the bikes out, and then we're going to start getting ready for the morning. I've 5 more ride tests to do if I don't get bundled with any more. But a lot of bikes coming into us now. If you are in the market for a Lexmoto or a used bike of bigger CC, then speak to the guys at Eclipse, and the web link's down the bottom. That is eclipsemotorcyclesmk.co.uk. Telephone numbers down there, 01908 643 603. I have 1 LXR left, and that will probably go today if someone doesn't jump all over it, because we did obviously put the post up last night. LXR now available, and it's the last black and gold one before we get the next batch, so we've completely run out of stock again. Won't take us long to sell a few bikes. As always, all the social media is on my page, which is revbomb.co.uk. Live streams are coming up this week as well, so we're out with the boys doing a live stream, and we shall see what channel we'll jump on. Just keep an eye on the Facebook page, because I tend to post up when we're going to be doing a live stream with anybody else, and we'll jump in on that. But this was the Lexmoto Echo 50 for a customer. And we've got 12k on the bike, and the final bit of ride mileage, the final 8k to do on the day of handover, just to make sure it's all good before we release the bike. Whatever you're doing this week, do have yourself a good one. And I think it might be a sunny Tuesday today, thank God. So, whatever you're doing, be well, ride safe. From the 30-mile-an-hour Speed King, RB, have a good one, take care, and until the next time, it's a big goodbye from me.